I didn't set out to do this, believe me. I thought I was gonna be something else. I didn't even know that this was something you could be. Something about this place I enjoy. You would have to really love it to keep coming back here and doing what we do, because it's not always that fun. For 8 years, I would come up here, and my family in Montana didn't really have a grasp of what I was doing. They would see pictures, and like so many places that are either remote or just unique, it's kind of hard to describe what goes on. It's tedious, and it can be really dirty and loud. It's not always pretty or glamorous, but it was for me that whole idea of really loving it up here, knowing that there was something about this place, and you just get to let go of your ego or your everyday life and just do this one job. So we're in Naknek, Alaska, in the Bristol Bay region, about to embark on the Bristol Bay salmon fishery. The largest run of sockeye salmon in the world is on the way here.
Well, Bristol Bay, not only is it the largest run of salmon anywhere in the world, it occurs very quickly. They spawn in fresh water and they die after they spawn, and then the offspring spend 1 to 2 winters in the lakes and grow up to smolt, where they move out to the ocean, and then they'll spend anywhere from 1 to 4 years swimming around the ocean where they put on all their growth.
And then they return to the exact spot, river, tributary that they began from.
We'll see them start trickling in beginning in June, and then sometime by late June they show up. So we can go from having a couple thousand fish in one river, and the next day we can have literally 500,000.
This is an undisturbed run of salmon that is increasingly abundant and that is really fiercely protected by these establishments and organizations that have really rallied around it to say, like, okay, we can all agree on something. This is special, it's unique, and it's not to be taken for granted. So maybe we could all just agree that for the first time, we do nothing, because that's what's working.
We don't have any hatchery fish. We don't have any salmon ranching around here. We don't do anything besides make sure that we get enough up the river to continue the cycle, really forever. If you look back 10 years ago and said, what's the average run size to Bristol Bay for sockeye salmon, you'd say, oh, it's 30 million. Since 2015, all of our runs have been over 50 million. We've had a couple that have exceeded 60 million total runs, and then that's allowing us to harvest well over 30 million sockeye salmon in a year. So the Kvichak district, they broke the record for the largest run to that district in 2017. They broke it again in 2018. And this year, 2021, they had the largest harvest in a day at 1.77 million fish, followed up by another record harvest in a day at 1.8 million fish. They've caught about 9 million fish there in 6 days, and it's still going.
I feel like there's a tendency for the commercial fishing industry to be glorified as the dudes out on the boat, doing this super hard work, which it is. And then it just cuts right to the beautiful piece of salmon on the plate. And there's this kind of skip of the in between. Like, what happens to make that living creature a food product? And that's kind of where we live, is in the in between.
This is the Alaska Department of Fish and Game in King Salmon with an announcement for permit holders in the Naknek Kvichak district. The time is 9 a.m. and the date is July 6th.
On July 5th, the Naknek River escapement was 35,000 for cumulative of 850,000.
So once the tides get into swing and the Fish and Game opens the river for commercial, we will start getting deliveries down on the beach.
The Naknek section will open to drift gillnet gear for a 9-hour period from 11 p.m. July 6th
Until 8 a.m. July 7th.
I didn't know what I was getting into the first time I came up here, and it probably takes about 2 or 3 seasons to really get your head wrapped around just the whole concept of how everything works. But you have to pay attention and kind of be a quick learner too.
Will be extended for 24 and a half hours from 5 p.m. July 6th.
This has been the Alaska Department of Fish and Game in King Salmon.
They show up with the fish, you have to weigh it, ticket it, slush it, and get it prepped for cutting. It's just all through the night, all through the day. We start working 8-hour days, then 10, then 12. The next thing you know, we start cutting at about 6:30 in the morning, and we're lucky if we're done and putting everything away and getting to bed by midnight. I mean, it probably looks miserable because it's loud and wet and cold, but once you get into it and you kind of just like feel the flicks of your knife, and it's like painting or playing an instrument. Your brain just shuts off and your hands do the work.
I think a lot of the fish that was here left here in cans. Canned salmon, like bumblebee and trident and all, it was all canned. Now that there's demand for fresh salmon, native run salmon, she's gonna bring a better quality to the people that, never have seen it before, because it's always been commercial. It's always been the bigger companies that just kind of shove it in your face and go, this is what it is in a can. They don't know no better.
New rack. It is harder this way, but it's quality versus quantity. We have the control over who we get it from, how it's cared for during the catch, after the catch, and then when it's cut and packed. So it's really personal.
Every year we come up here, she has something new that she's trying. Some new tactic or technique that she's trying to put to use to try to make things more efficient and more prosperous for everybody.
Everything she does to take care of other people. She's pretty selfless, and she's just one of the hardest workers I know.
When I started this, I was 24, and so I was always in fast forward, always at a 10, trying to control and manage every little thing because I felt a lot of pressure. And now we have 18 employees. 3 of them are my siblings, and I couldn't imagine like doing this without them.
All right, Branson's up next.
Being very small and mutually dependent on each other to get this job done, it lends itself to some pretty tight bonding. And they're trying to do a really good job for me and for the fish. I love that about them, is they're all really respectful of the resource.
When you put them in, Ben, will you make sure you remember that one's Nathan, the big blue one?
You know, the smaller company like Kvichak, they care about the quality of the fish, you know, that goes out. This fish deserves respect. You know, it feeds a lot of people, and it should be respected. And you see that when you get her fish. You know it's taken care of, as it should be. It means something. She cares, and that means a lot.
Looking for a reason to look the other way.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Been waiting here forever.
We really are lucky to be doing what we're doing. And yeah, by the time it's over, you're burnt out. But it's not very long at all before my sister and I, we're already thinking about the next summer. And that's when you know you really have the bug.
5 ground and 10 halibut. Can we do that?
Still holding patterns tightly.
The second you touch ground on the lower 48, just start thinking about next year, and you find yourself thinking all the different things you can do differently. So you're actually excited about it.
Sarah, thanks for the order. This is huge.
We love it.
That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, this is definitely our favorite part of the whole process, is when we actually get to finish our job.
Awesome, thanks.
There you are.
Thanks for being here and doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, thanks for buying wild fish.
It kind of renews my enthusiasm to go back up and do it again.
Honestly, I need honesty. Because it always takes
There's kind of an angst to do a little bit more or do better, and that keeps you going. The day that I don't care if we improve is the day I'm probably done. You know, I'll sign off and let somebody else have it. Because it's just too hard and it's too much work to not give it everything you have. It's as simple as that, really. Do one thing and do it well.
Do you guys like salmon?
I love salmon.